And welcome and a very happy Sunday to you. Here are Game Time decisions on the SportsGrid Network. I'm Joe Raineri on an Olympic Sunday on this August the 4th. And boy, oh boy, timing is everything in this world. And the timing could not have been better for 37-year-old Novak Djokovic here on the tennis court just now. You have your gold medal winner for the first time in a career for a guy that, by the way, has every other record known to mankind in men's singles tennis around the world. Most weeks at number one. He's got the most Grand Slam titles. The only thing he has not had is a gold medal here. He did get a couple of silver and a bronze, but he's never had a gold until now, as he just finished off 21-year-old Carlos Alcaraz, as he's breaking down on the court right now. I mean, this was a guy that just a couple of weeks ago got smoked by Alcaraz on at Wimbledon on the grass, but switching it over to clay, totally different ball game here today. So kudos to the GOAT, Novak Djokovic, getting the gold medal done here in this one. Also, keeping an eye currently, what a morning it has been for Olympic golf. Scotty Scheffler and Tommy Fleetwood are your leaders right now at 19 under par. Jon Rahm has completely fallen off a cliff here. He remains 3 strokes back. Xander Schauffele also fell off a cliff here. This is pretty much a two-person race. Rory was in contention for a little while. He, too, has fallen off. Matsuyama in a silver medal spot right now. I do think one way or the other, we are getting extra golf over this next hour or so here, as a lot of guys are within a stroke of one another right now. There is nothing solidified for gold, silver, or bronze in Olympic golf. So stand by. We'll have all the latest for you when it comes to that. In the meantime, we started today with Team USA, their medal count, 14 golds. I think that is going to change here by the time we are finished with today. They are by far and away total medals, heads and tails over any other nation. But they are looking to add to that gold count here, and we'll keep you posted as those numbers continue to come in. A lot of other things going on, plenty of gymnastics. Women's volleyball as USA handled business over France here today. The men's team also on there. And, of course, we've got, let's not forget, women's basketball coming up here in just about 10 minutes or so, as USA will be taking on Germany. Keep in mind, this is a team that has not lost an Olympic game since 1992. And to find out whether or not they'll lose one today, who better to answer that question than Moneybags himself, the coach, James Young, in the house, straight off a absolutely epic sheet of plays he handed out 24 hours ago on this show for the men's team. Coach, that's going to be a hard act to follow on the women's side here, or maybe not here. You were doling out winners like chiclets yesterday. Congratulations there. Very profitable day. How about this women's side? And by the way, both these teams have already qualified for the knockouts, right? So is there a whole lot at stake in this game coming up here, Coach?
Well, honestly, Joe, it's just the ability to be first in your group. So, and obviously first in your group allows you to have a little bit of an easier time. Just want to set the stage here, just to know that they just played not too long ago, July 23rd, 84-57. The USA won. So I'm going to give this really quick because the game is about to tip off in about 5 or so minutes. First things first, I'm going to go USA minus the 18.5. Remember, 84-57, who I just talked about. This team in Germany, besides Satu Sabali, incredibly struggles to score the ball. Look at the shooting splits that they had against Japan. Their team total is 69.5, or depending on what book you look at. So I'm going USA minus 18.5. I actually took it again just to cover myself. More money, minus 15.5. So I took it twice just in case. Secondly, I'm going to go, obviously, with the team total under 71.5 for Germany. Like I said, just Satu Sabali, 57 points in the exhibition game. They barely got over this number versus Japan. Not a good defensive team. they keep the scoring down, I think USA is going to be locked in, especially at that hard again than expected against Belgium. Lastly, Sabrina Ionescu, 2+ made threes. I think this is someone that will shoot the ball and get the ball in spots. She made 2 3-pointers in the previous matchup with 2 of 5 of 3 versus Germany. I think Germany's going to want to kind of crowd the floor. I think Sabrina Ionescu is someone that should get loose from the 3-point line. If you even look at the game that they just played against Belgium, Sab, I don't think she got to that 3-point mark. She only took 2. It's about shot volume. If Sab gets 4 or more, she's hitting 2. Sabrina Ionescu, 2+ made threes, -140. And Joe, I did it. You got to look around. You got to find a book. But I found, I think it was another book. I took USA first quarter, second quarter, third quarter money line. Now it's -400 each way. But to me, I think they're even or better every quarter. So I just took them 4 units. First, second, third, and then obviously I tried to go ahead and take them minus the points to win the entire game.
Savily, you talked about it, Coach. She's a star, obviously, in the WNBA, and she's really the only option for this Germany team. I think they shot 37% against Japan. They were 30% from 3, but they made a ton of their points at the foul line there, 21 to 24 attempts. They hit there. So that team total of yours, I think, with the perimeter defense of Team USA, are they even getting to 70, Coach? I question whether or not they're even going to get to 70 because I think Team USA will keep their foot on the gas in this one. What do you think?
I don't think they get to 70. I don't know if they get to 65. Because at the end of the day, too, Germany's going to have to slow the game down because they don't have the horses to go up and down with us. So they want to play slower. So go ahead and shop around, see what you can find. Different books are giving different prices. So just make sure you shop around and get yourself the best deal. You can see it at 71.5. You can see them at 69.5. Go get the best deal. But the USA should absolutely keep them under 70 points today.
A lot of criticism regarding the starting guard play from this team here, Coach, and a lot of people believe that it's Jewel Lloyd and Sabrina Ionescu who have been the catalyst off the bench as guards here. Is that really and it's a terrible thing, it's a terrible problem to have if you're coaching this team, but have you been more impressed with the second group coming off? Is that the biggest issue? If there is, and it's not a big issue, is the guard play right now with this U.S. team?
Yeah, I think, listen, at the end of the day, here's the issue, folks, and it's more than just the guard play. You have the 2 best players in the world, in Asia Wilson and Brianna Stewart at the 4-5. Right. The problem that I have is they're playing Nafisa Collier as your 3. And then that means that Taurasi's your 2 with Chelsea Gray. I think if you want to keep Taurasi in the starting lineup for what she's done, I understand. Move Taurasi to the 3, put Ionescu at the 2, and put her in the backcourt with someone like Chelsea Gray, who's not a shooter. Chelsea Gray can punch the gap. You have 2 extreme big-time scorers in Wilson and Stewart that play high-low with each other really well. And then you can space the floor with DT and Sab. That's what I would do if I'm Cheryl Reeve. And if they struggle early, I wonder if they do bring Ionescu into the game quickly, move DT to the 3, and then try to space the floor.
All right. Well, we got opening tip here in just a minute or so. We've got an update from the men's golf we'll give you here. Oh boy, is it getting good there. And, of course, we have another basketball game that we're going to talk about when we get back here on Game Time Decisions.
Center here in Denver, Colorado. It wasn't just a big night of fight. It was a big night of It's an incredible setup here, incredible matchmaking, incredible storytelling. Oh, you had to come here. All these fighters that step in here are warriors, and all have my respect. And I'm into this game, yeah. We'll be into this, yeah.
And we are live here in the Maverick Center here in Salt Lake City. What a night. It is going to be historic indeed for BKFC 56.
Whoever's the king of violence right here, this is going to be a great fight. Early on the target, right hand from my very double champion. Who's the king of violence? I am!
Combat fighting in its purest form, bare knuckle fighting in the city of angels.
We've got the biggest announcement in the BKFC history we're about to make, so let's make that announcement.
What's up, Knucklemania? The notorious Conor McGregor here. Ladies and gentlemen, the huge announcement that I have for you today. Conor McGregor, myself, and McGregor Sports and Entertainment is now an owner of Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. Welcome to the big leagues. David Feldman, baby, we did it.
He's now an owner of BKFC with us, and we're going to take this motherfucking thing all the way to the top now.
All right, welcome back in Game Time Decisions on this first Sunday of August. Welcome in. I'm Joe Raineri alongside the coach, JY, James Young, in the house as we are getting ready for the start of the Team USA, the women's basketball team taking on Germany, the two undefeateds in the group stage right now. There will only be one undefeated team in remaining after this. However, both teams have already qualified and will advance to the knockout. What is at stake in this game? Well, what's at stake is having a much easier path to the gold game. And that's kind of what is at stake in this one. The coach, the more we talk about it, the more we think the tempo is going to be of the slower pace. We don't trust Germany to get up and over their team total at 69.5. But at the same time, given that there's nothing really at stake here, we're not necessarily believing the U.S. is going to score over 90 some odd points as well. Maybe the whole game is a under 162.5, 163.5, just simply because if they're up 10 with 2 minutes, there's not really a whole lot to gain here since both are already advancing, no?
Want to slow the game down too. They just don't have the offensive firepower to go ahead and challenge us. So I think that's something that you want to take a look at here. And you know, it'll be an interesting game here. You know, the USA is obviously by far the best team. Yes, it does take just one 40-minute game to beat someone. But I think the USA probably had a little bit of their scare versus Belgium, a Belgium team that you've got to remember, folks, did also only lose to the United States 81-79 in February in qualifying. So this Germany team doesn't have what we have offensively or defensively on the matter. So they need to play this game at half court. That's why I like Germany to go under their team total, but also I like obviously the game to go under as well.
I agree with you there, Coach. I think that's a lot of value, I think, in those two plays right there. Who's your leading scorer today for Team USA? Who comes down with the most points here? Who you leaning towards?
Well, right now, Stewie's been absolutely fantastic, but I think Asia Wilson is just going to have a game where she's going to go off. I just don't see anybody that matches up with her. You know, even going inside, you know, looking at, you know, first play of the game, even though she missed it, Asia Wilson against Naira Sablé. Naira Sablé, pretty good player, but I don't think she's going to be able to hold her down. So minus 158, I would go with the play of Asia Wilson to lead it in scoring.
I am looking forward. This game is off and running, no score here in the first until, well, that big basket right there. But the game coming up this afternoon, Coach, I'm going to be very interested to watch because while we have already anointed Team USA the winner of the gold medal here, and it's more than likely that that's going to happen here. You know, the home country's team, this women's team from France taking on Australia coming up at 3 o'clock. This French national team looks clearly heads and tails above everyone else as well. They came 75-54 win over Canada. They won 75-54 over Nigeria. They're 2-0. They already have multiple 20-plus point wins in group play. No team has scored more than 54 points against them. And it's only 5.5 the line here. So I'm going to be very interested to see, could this be the biggest competition Team USA's got rolling here?
Yeah, they basically are. The French team plays really well defense. Listen, they're not playing any juggernauts here offensively. So we'll see when they play Team USA. But if you're looking at a bet, by the way, you can tell early on, really quick, Germany's really wants to get this game in a slow pace, and they're really just trying to load up. It's not really good shot selection early on. USA down 5-2. Still not worried a little bit, but at least a really slow start for the Americans down 5-2. But if you want to bet for the game, Maureen Johannes, who played for the New York Liberty, is a straight shooter. That is her role. That's all she does. Last game, she had 9 attempts. Joe, all 9 were from 3. So right now, looking at Maureen Johannes to make over 2.5 made threes at minus 156. They are really good. They get her the ball. She shoots it a ton off the bench. That's her role. She gets over 2.5 made threes at minus 156.
Oh, I love it here. Yeah, I'm going to look very forward to watching this team play 3 o'clock Eastern time here today. We'll see if Australia maybe gives them a little bit better of a game than what we've seen. I mean, you know, back-to-back 20-plus point wins isn't, you're playing Sisters of the Poor here. But I do think that we'll learn a little something about this French team coming up this afternoon. In the meantime, you're right about the pace. Germany up 5-4 right now with about 6.5 minutes to go in the first quarter. What was the average line per quarter here, Coach, that you were seeing when you went pre-flop in this one with Team USA?
I think it was about 5. I think it was about 5.5. Oh, what? Jesus, what a play by Stewie. I'm sorry, just full court, turn, spin, lay it in. But here's the thing, like, you can look at it that way, and if you're Germany, you got to be careful. And if you notice, they're not sending a lot of people to the boards. They are sprinting back because they know that at the end of the day, it's going to be an absolute struggle in regard to that. But they're playing well. It's 7-4 early for Germany. I'm not, there's no panic here because I know that they're going to win the quarter. But it's just a little bit of a sloppy start by the Americans. Let's see how quickly they go to their bench because you can tell the USA is struggling right now to get the ball to really anyone except creating off the bench. Taurasi just missed a 3, so 10-4. There could be a timeout here. USA not off to a good start. 2 threes by Sably.
Why have they not shot well from 3, Coach? I just don't. I thought that would have been better.
I brought this up yesterday. I was talking to Tom Byrne on Mad Dog, and I brought this up. I don't know if people realize this. The ball is different. The ball is different.
Ooh, wait, hold on. Hold on. I want to hear about this, Coach, because I think that's going to be great for the future games coming up here, because it makes no sense how terrible they have been from 3, and Caitlin Clark's not on this team. It's very strange, and I don't know that they thought that might happen either. We'll talk more about that, plus an update from Olympic golf when Game Time Decisions continues here on The Grid.
It's an incredible setup here, incredible matchmaking, incredible storytelling. Oh, you had to come here. All these fighters that step in here are warriors, and all have my respect. And I'm into this game, yeah. We'll be into this, yeah.
And we are live here in the Maverick Center here in Salt Lake City. What a night. It is going to be historic indeed for BKFC 56.
Whoever's the king of violence right here, this is going to be a great fight. Early on the turn, right hand from my boy Double Champion. Who's the king of violence? I am!
Combat fighting in its purest form, bare knuckle fighting in the city of angels.
We've got the biggest announcement in the BKFC history we're about to make, so let's make that announcement.
What's up, Knucklemania? The notorious Conor McGregor here. Ladies and gentlemen, the huge announcement that I have for you today. Conor McGregor, myself, and McGregor Sports and Entertainment is now an owner of Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. Welcome to the big leagues. David Feldman, baby, we did it.
He's now an owner of BKFC with us, and we're going to take this motherfucking thing all the way to the top now.
All right, welcome back in here. Game time decisions on this Sunday. Joe Raineri alongside the coach, James Young. We're keeping our eye on it's going to come down to the final couple of holes here, or at least the 18th hole with John Rahm and Tommy Fleetwood to see whether or not we're going to have a playoff for gold, as well as a playoff for possibly bronze in Olympic golf. We'll keep you posted there right now, but Germany out to a 17-10 lead here, Coach, with about 3.5 minutes to go in the first. The women's basketball team, not a great start, but you were just saying you have a theory as to why this team can't hit three. They're not shooting enough threes, and they're not making enough threes, which makes laying this many points with this kind of team very difficult. But why? Why are they so inept from three?
The ball is different. In regards to the size of the ball, the number of panels are different, and the weight of the ball and the size of it, inch-wise, it's different.
Really?
That's why Steph Curry is struggling. So you got to look at girls going inside. So really quick, I jumped in plus 4.5 at 15-6 saying, okay, we got to get the ball inside. We got to do a little bit better. And then obviously at some point, does Germany stop making threes? It slowed down a little bit. 17-14, they got Brittany Griner in the game, and they're going to feed that big girl at 6'8". 17, now I think it's 19-14. So my bet here to win the first quarter is in a little bit of jeopardy, but also for me, Satu Sabli just checked out of the game. So here's a chance for the USA to have the lead at the end of the quarter.
Yeah, it's now that if we look ahead to the second quarter here, Coach, usually this is where we start to see some separation from Team USA, right? This is where we're going to start to see maybe they start to pull away a little bit more, or is this going to be all about second half here for Team USA? I mean, give Germany credit, Coach. I mean, the game plan that they've come in here with, so far so good. I don't want to say that Team USA, it's not like Team USA is handing them this quarter, but Germany's putting up a pretty good fight, and they're controlling the tempo, it appears.
They're controlling the tempo, and they're doing a good job of securing the offensive rebound. So the USA has gone to the bench, and they went to the bench with a bunch of they brought in, obviously, their dynamic scoring backcourt. That's the backcourt of Jewel Lord and Sabrina Ionescu. So those two have checked into the game. Sab with already a runner in the lane, but not a good start for the USA. Nafisa Colliers in the game. They've moved her to the floor. But not a good start here by Team USA, down by 5, it looks like, with about 2:06 left to go. So my theory of them winning every quarter looks like it's in big jeopardy, as they call the shooting foul. So it looks like it could be probably 21-14 with about 2:05 left to go in the quarter. So we'll see if the USA can make a little bit of a run here to end it.
11.5 is the in-game number right now. Team USA closed at 18.5. I am seeing the second quarter spread 6.5 for Team USA, Coach. Certainly very, very doable, very feasible, maybe a little overvalued because they haven't been great here so far, but 6.5 is still a very doable number for them in the second half to pull away. No, in the second quarter, rather.
Yeah, because you figure at some point they're going to wake up. This is just not a really good performance. We caught a little bit of a break here if anybody wants to take them on the money line to win the quarter. So it's about 140 left to go in the quarter. So, hopefully get a couple of stops here and a couple of made shots, but not a good start by Team USA. I was expecting a little bit better of a start here. They're just playing the game at a tempo that's advantageous to them. If USA can't get out and run, and they're really loading up, they're really making everybody work. So it's interesting to see what's happening as I'm trying to do two things at the same time, but just really poor performance.
Now,
yeah. So 5.5. So it's something where you got to realize that Sabley is going to check back into the game. No one's looks like no one is in foul trouble here, so I may jump back in. I'm hoping I just at least get this plus 4.5 in the first quarter to kind of lose kind of take away a little bit of steam here, but not a good start by Team USA at all. Down 5, under a minute to go in the first quarter.
And there hasn't been a bucket since here, Coach. They're down to the a minute 3 here, and we're still 19-4. Now, actually, we're under 50 seconds here, and we still haven't had a bucket by either side. So 19-14. So I'll tell you what, our under plays have been phenomenal here, working it out. Not just full game, but maybe even team totals, I think, are looking pretty good here on both of those sides. So off and running here, still 19-14, 30 seconds left to go. Coach, we still got plenty of tickets to cash here in basketball. We appreciate the time as always. Game time decisions will continue here on the grid.
What has happened? What has transpired here at the First Bank Center here in Denver, Colorado? It wasn't just a big night of fight. It was a big night of memorable moments. Conor McGregor with us here in Denver, Colorado. Look left hand from Rockhold. Right hand, right back from Mike Perry.
Can I get a face-off with Conor McGregor, man? It's an incredible setup here, incredible matchmaking, incredible storytelling. Oh, you had to come here. All these fighters that step in here are warriors, and all have my respect. And I'm into this game, yeah. We'll be into this, yeah.
And we are live here in the Maverick Center here in Salt Lake City. What a night. It is going to be historic indeed for BKFC 56.
Whoever's the king of violence right here, this is going to be a great fight. Perry on the top. Right hand from Mike Perry. Double jab. Who's the king of violence? I am!
Combat fighting in its purest form, bare knuckle fighting in the city of angels.
We've got the biggest announcement in the BKFC history we're about to make, so let's make that announcement.
What's up, Knucklemania? The notorious Conor McGregor here. Ladies and gentlemen, the huge announcement that I have for you today. Conor McGregor, myself, and McGregor Sports and Entertainment is now an owner of Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. Welcome to the big leagues. David Feldman, baby, we did it.
He's now an owner of BKFC with us, and we're going to take this motherfucking thing all the way to the top now.
All right, welcome back in here. Game time decisions on the SportsGrid Network. I'm Joe Raineri. Very happy Sunday to you. Thanks for stopping by as we are keeping our eye on a number of the Olympic sports underway, including what is going to be a crazy finish in golf, if you can believe that or not. We've got a Scotty Scheffler possible gold. Well, I would say it's probably better than possible right now, as he's got a one-shot lead over Tommy Fleetwood. Fleetwood on the 18th with John Rahm. Will he or won't he be able to get a birdie in and maybe send this to some extra golf here where we'll have a playoff for a couple of gold medals? Boy, that would be something else. Also, the women's team is underway. The women's basketball team, that is 19-16 Germany, on top after one. Joining us is Jacob Kamenker of the Sporting News. And Jacob, we're watching both these here underway right now. What's more surprising, the fact that nobody was talking about Scotty Scheffler for a gold medal, or this start by the women's team against Germany, which has not been good?
I've got to think that it has to be Scotty Scheffler at this point, because we came into today thinking Xander Schauffele was going to be the U.S.'s best chance of medaling, and Scheffler has done what he's done all season. He's put together one of his best rounds at the right time, and all of a sudden, he kind of came out of nowhere and was right in the thick of things. John Rahm looked like he was going to run away with this. He had a 4-shot lead going into the back 9 or the final 8 holes, and he's kind of let it slip away, and Scheffler capitalized on the opportunity. So now, unless Tommy Fleetwood makes a ridiculous chip shot, Scheffler is going to win the gold medal. I am a little bummed out, though, that I thought we were going to get a playoff for at least one of the medals. Doesn't look like that's going to happen. If we had gotten a playoff, there would have been some nice betting opportunities. But kudos to anyone who got Scheffler at any point today, because his odds were pretty long to take it down.
It feels like over the last, yesterday too, it felt like here we are, the number one player in the world, and we're like, maybe bronze, but no, I'm not betting. Like, when are we ever going to get Scotty Scheffler at double digits like this for a price? Like, come on, you got to be kidding me. He doesn't make it, by the way. So it does appear, but he did leave himself about 5 or 6 feet. To come back for a par, which is going to be interesting here. Maybe we do get a little extra golf here, but Scotty Scheffler is your gold winner for Team USA in golf. Unbelievable. We're going to have a lot to say about that one, Jacob. I'm sure a lot of people are screaming and yelling right now at John Rahm. How about this basketball game, though? Were you running to the window to lay the 18.5 with Team USA? I mean, there literally is not a whole lot on the line since both teams already qualified for the next round, no?
Exactly. So I wasn't running to lay anything on this game because they're both already through. And among the competitors they've faced so far, I kind of anticipated that Germany might be a team that could give them a little more trouble. We've seen Team Japan and the Belgian team keep it close in the first half against Team USA. The one lackluster part of their team so far has been their perimeter defense at times hasn't been 100%. And we saw that early. I believe Germany made its first 3 threes in this game. Mm-hmm. And then the other element I was looking at was Germany's just a taller team than Team USA has faced so far. Their height was a massive advantage over Japan. I mean, when you can march out Breanna Stewart, Asia Wilson, and Brittany Griner and just kind of rotate through them, that's going to give you an advantage over a lot of teams. But Germany has some pretty good height with it. A lot of players over 6'3" on that squad. So I think that this team was always likely to give the USA a little more trouble. So I didn't want to bet the 18.5 given that and the fact that both teams are already through. So, yeah, USA wants to win, but you know, if it gets to a situation late where they're up 20, they may let go of the rope a little bit and all of a sudden you don't cover.
22-19 right now, 8 minutes ago in the second quarter, Germany on top. I had just asked the coach last segment, James Young, as to why he thought, why are they so bad at three-point shots? They don't take enough, Jacob, Team USA. And they don't make enough. And that, I hate to think that might be coming up and what's biting them, but it also makes them impossible to lay these kinds of numbers if you can't make that kind of separation. So rebounds are great, but they can't make a three. Why do you think that is?
It may just be that the team is cold at the wrong time. I know they have some good three-point shooters on the squad, but this team is really built around playing in the post and kind of dominating on defense. And that's not going to be an exciting thing for a lot of bettors, especially when you're looking at these huge spreads, because I think that they should be better at 3-point shots. And I know there are probably some WNBA fans out there who will groan at the mention, but if they had brought Caitlin Clark here, maybe they could have thrown in a few more people who could make some threes. Of course, they just made a three as I was saying that, so maybe they heard me.
Yes, of course. Yep.
But, I think this team is just built because of its size to play in the post, and I think that's what we're going to see a lot of.
Yeah, and I hope it doesn't come back to bite him, although it is knotted up 22 apiece here now with 7.5 to go. The 3 p.m. game, am I crazy, or is this French team they haven't really played anybody. Let's be realistic, but no team has scored more than 54 points against them thus far. They seem to be very defensive oriented. They've got some shooters on this team. Is this French national team a competition we should be keeping an eye on?
Yeah, I think they are. I think you're seeing globally, we see it on the men's and women's side, but there are countries that are making strides towards challenging the United States. And I think France is a place where we've seen a basketball boom in recent years. And I mean, Victor Wembanyama's emergence is only going to further that notion. So I think as long as France is defending the way that they are, these United States teams, they can defend. They do a good job of that. But if you go up against a good defensive team and get into a knock them down, drag them out battle, you have to have at least some shooting to stretch the defense. And I'm confident that the United States will figure out the shooting before that game may come to pass. But, if they're cold from three, all of a sudden that matchup gets a little shakier than you want it to be.
I agree. Yeah, 5.5 is that game coming up with France and Australia. So that's going to be the 3:00 Eastern time game in the women's side of the basketball. We had earlier, just about a half hour ago, Jacob, just absolutely crazy men's final gold, silver in tennis. I mean, to see a 37-year-old, the GOAT, finally do something that it's the only thing he hasn't accomplished in all of tennis in his career, right? I mean, most weeks at number one, more Grand Slams, never had a gold medal until now. He gets redemption on 21-year-old Carlos Alcaraz. Not a good day for the old guys here. Unbelievable effort by Novak Djokovic, man, to get it done and get the gold.
Yeah, absolutely. And like you said, that was the last box on Djokovic's resume that he had to tick off. He has the most men's Grand Slam titles. Now he has the Olympic gold. And it's kind of crazy because you think about it, and he had good rivalry with Nadal and Federer early in his career. But he's the one who's lasted long enough at this point to have a rivalry with Alcaraz, who he's played in Wimbledon a couple of times. And all of a sudden, he's still around at 37. Alcaraz is 21, and Djokovic is still finding ways to beat him. I mean, longevity in tennis has become kind of a thing. It started with Federer and Nadal and Murray even, who just finished up his last tournament at the Olympics. But Djokovic has now really kind of dragged himself ahead of them. And I think if you had said that when he was getting his start, a lot of people would have said, no way, he's going to have to last a long time to do that. And he's done just that.
It's truly amazing. A dude 21-year-old who seems to be coming into his own and is really the future of the game. And for him on the clay to come out here and do what he did and win that gold, he looked so overmatched a couple of weeks ago at Wimbledon, didn't he? It was like, come on, you got to be kidding me. But boy, that was a big plus price here today that I'm also going to kick myself for no Scheffler or Djokovic in my pocket there. But Jacob, it's already, we're 1 week into the Olympics. It's been phenomenal. Thanks for taking the time to hang out with us. We look forward to getting you back on here talking more Olympics here. In the meantime, Game Time Decisions continues here on the Grid.
It's an incredible setup here, incredible matchmaking, incredible storytelling. Oh, you had to come here. All these fighters that step in here are warriors, and all have my respect. And I'm into this game, yeah. We'll be into this, yeah.
And we are live here in the Maverick Center here in Salt Lake City. What a night. It is going to be historic indeed for BKFC 56.
Whoever's the king of violence right here, this is going to be a great fight. Early on the top, ready for it. Right hand from my boy, double check. Who's the king of violence? I am!
Combat fighting in its purest form, bare knuckle fighting in the city of angels.
We've got the biggest announcement in the BKFC history we're about to make, so let's make that announcement.
What's up, Knucklemania? The notorious Conor McGregor here. Ladies and gentlemen, the huge announcement that I have for you today. Conor McGregor, myself, and McGregor Sports and Entertainment is now an owner of Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. Welcome to the big leagues. David Feldman, baby, we did it.
He's now an owner of BKFC with us, and we're going to take this motherfucking thing all the way to the top now.
All right, welcome back in here. Game time decisions on this Sunday in the SportsGrid Network. I'm Joe Raineri, and it is official here in the Olympics that we now know our gold medalist is with Team USA in golf. Scotty Scheffler with I don't even know why we're surprised here, with a absolutely unbelievable Sunday to catapult himself into gold contention. And once again, Tommy Fleetwood does what Tommy Fleetwood does very well, and that's fold when it matters the most. And nobody knows that better than our good friend Brady Cannon, who's stepping in here. And by the way, Team USA 28-24, nice rebounding effort here in the women's basketball side. Still about 4.5 minutes to go in the second quarter there. But Brady, the choke of all choke. I just didn't expect Rahm to go that direction here today, but he did. And Tommy Fleetwood, I thought he was poised, man. He's got to win on this course, doesn't he? Like, this was all set up for Tommy Fleetwood. And then where the hell was Scotty Scheffler? Why were we not looking at Scotty Scheffler over these last 2 days?
Well, it's just absolutely incredible. And what a final round it was, Joe. And I'm not going to say Tommy Fleetwood lost it. He shot 5 under par. That's pretty darn good. And you and I nailed it on Saturday. We said the winning score was 19 under. We said if John Rahm or Xander Schauffele, if you asked him if they'd take 19 under, I bet they would. 19 under got it done for an American. We just didn't expect it was going to be Scotty Scheffler. My goodness. If there was any question as to who the PGA Tour Player of the Year was coming into this competition in Paris, there's no longer a question. That was firmly answered today as Mr. Scheffler adds a gold medal to his green jacket and now 7 tournament wins on the year. Absolutely stunning. Xander Schauffele fell off the map really completely. It started at the 6th hole, I believe, when he made bogey. John Rahm, absolutely stunning as well. Just as incredible as Scheffler's 62. A 62 to get it done on Sunday. Rahm had a 4-shot lead with 8 holes left to play. And I don't know what it was. I think he shot about 5 over on that backside. Didn't even medal. After being out in front to win gold by 4 shots with 8 to play, didn't even finish on the podium. It was just a wild turn of events. And I think another thing that was absolutely incredible, Joe, you saw this leaderboard just shifting like crazy, especially in the second half of the morning here. When Rahm had gotten it to 20 under, everything just started going nuts. Victor Perez of France was, just made what a showing he had in front of his home crowd, nearly got to the podium. Everything was going nuts. And after all that, after all the dust settles, we don't even end up with a playoff for any of the medal positions. Just a wild, wild Sunday. We expected it was going to, be fireworks, but boy, I did not expect anything like this. And like I say, if you told me an American was going to win gold, I absolutely would have bet a lot of money it was Schauffele and not Scheffler.
And it's crazy because we talked about how the numbers that you had for him were just absolutely crazy. Numbers you don't see. You certainly haven't seen all year long, but the guy comes up big. In fact, I believe Rahm was the only guy on the leaderboard on the first page there to shoot 70. Everybody else, and to your point, these were some great numbers. It was great golf here today, but only one guy went low enough, early enough to put the pressure on, and that was the other question we had yesterday. Who's going to post a number and put the pressure on the guys that got to finish? And I think, well, who else? Scotty Scheffler. And I still don't think his putting was great this week. That's the amazing thing, Brady.
Yeah, no, you're exactly right, Joe. For the week, he lost strokes to the field with the putter, about a third of a stroke, more than a quarter of a stroke. Excuse me, about a third of a stroke. He lost to the field with the putter, but he came up big when it mattered. He gained over a stroke and a half with the putter on Sunday. Obviously, you need something like, gosh, I'm getting all choked up here. You need something really like that when you shoot a 62. Obviously, you have to have the putter firing when you shoot a 62, and Scotty picked the right time to find a hot day with the flat stick. But you're right, and that's why we really didn't figure he was going to be a part of this equation. He was 4 shots off the pace. We talked about it. We were looking at Rory at 10 under. I think Dietrich started at 10 under. And, of course, Scotty. You had Matsuyama at 11 and Højgaard at 11. And we were figuring it was going to take an 8 or 9 under, to maybe at least get into a playoff. But it didn't figure that Scotty was going to be the guy to turn that trick because of the woes he had putting all week long. And just, I mean, the guy just continues to amaze. Right when we're just talking about it yesterday. Xander Schauffele, clearly the best player in the world for the last month. Boy, he just turned everything on a dime with 18 holes of golf here on a Sunday.
Absolutely amazing, and nobody better at it all year long than him. And between Rahm, between Schauffele, he had an opportunity there to kind of really put the icing on the cake heading into what is now, after this, the PGA Tour, right? What are we going to, just a couple of weeks, we're going to have the beginning of the FedEx Cup, right? Schauffele certainly, given the fact of where that ends in Atlanta, has a pretty good leg up, I think, on everyone else, along with the FedEx Cup points. But how does this change now the look ahead for what remains on the PGA Tour to you?
I think, there is a positive here for bettors going forward. I think you're going to now get a better price on Xander Schauffele to win the FedEx Cup. The Olympics don't change your status there as far as FedEx Cup points. They do not figure into this competition. So it remains Scotty Scheffler in the number 1 position in the FedEx Cup standings and Xander Schauffele in the number 2 hole. So if things continue the way they are for the next couple of weeks, we will go into East Lake for the Tour Championship, those top 30 in FedEx Cup points with number 1 and number 2 separated by 2 shots, the staggered scoring. And yeah, Xander would be my bet. I think you might find him better than 3-1 now with this latest development.
I'm with you, man. I think there's going to be some opportunity, but lesson learned, never sleep on Scotty Scheffler, no matter how bad he is putting. Unreal. Brady, enjoy the rest of your Sunday, brother. Appreciate it as always. Game Time Decisions continues next on the grid.
It's an incredible setup here, incredible matchmaking, incredible storytelling. Oh, you had to come here. All these fighters that step in here are warriors, and all have my respect. And I'm into this game, yeah. We'll be into this, yeah.
And we are live here in the Maverick Center here in Salt Lake City. What a night it is proving to be historic indeed for BKFC 56.
Whoever's the king of violence right here, this is going to be a great fight. Early on the target, right hand from my Perry, double jab. Who's the king of violence? I am!
Combat fighting in its purest form, bare knuckle fighting in the city of angels.
We've got the biggest announcement in the BKFC history we're about to make, so let's make that announcement.
What's up, Knucklemania? The notorious Conor McGregor here. Ladies and gentlemen, the huge announcement that I have for you today. Conor McGregor, myself, and McGregor Sports and Entertainment is now an owner of Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. Welcome to the big leagues. David Feldman, baby, we did it.
He's now an owner of BKFC with us, and we're going to take this motherfucking thing all the way to the top now.
All right, welcome back in here. Game time decisions on this Sunday in the SportsGrid Network. I'm Joe Raineri. Appreciate you stopping by as we look to close out this first hour and get ready for another loaded slate in Major League Baseball action coming your way. Early game, too. In just about 10 minutes, the Reds and the Giants will kick off the slate here today. And we got some great matchups that we're going to dive into. It is Paul Skeens Day in Major League Baseball for you Pittsburgh Pirate fans there, taking on the rubber match game against Arizona. Can Atlanta bounce back after throwing up all over themselves and losing to Miami yesterday? The Yankees and Toronto coming up. So there is a lot to cover here. Also, keeping an eye right now at the break, at the half, Team USA, the women's basketball team. Boy, what a difference a quarter makes, huh? They were losing after the first quarter. They're now at the break. They're not losing anymore. 41-29 right now, a 12-point lead at the break, and they were down 3 after the first quarter. So laying that 5.5 in the second quarter, like we talked about with Coach James Young earlier, that was absolutely a winning bet. Good news is both team totals seem to be trending to the under as well. And the full game total also trending to the under. 156.5 is your in-game number. And Team USA right back to where we started from, 18.5, 19.5 is your in-game number there. But keep in mind, neither of these teams, this is not do or die for either of these teams. They have both qualified for the knockout stages, so both will advance. But Team USA looking to handle business. Coming up, 3 o'clock Eastern time this afternoon will be the other women's game between France and Australia. France as well, also 2-0. Just absolutely dominant. Both wins by 20 or more points. They have yet to give up anywhere even remotely close to 60 points in a game. I think 54 is the most any team has scored on this French national team in women's basketball. We'll see if that continues against Australia coming up. But the Olympics continuing to be pretty good for Team USA. Certainly another gold was just taken down by Team USA, and in the unlikeliest of spots. And that spot was in golf, as Scotty Scheffler drops a 62 on Sunday to come all the way from behind to end up getting gold, winning the stroke play matchup with just one shot better than Tommy Fleetwood, a couple of shots better than Matsuyama from Japan, who ends up getting the bronze. We thought we were going to get all sorts of extra golf here today, and in the end, Guys just weren't able to get it done. Well, one guy got it done, and that guy is the number one player in the world. And how none of us backed it at when it was at 15-1 earlier in the day. We're all scratching our heads here at the SportsGrid Network. And let that be a lesson to you. When Scotty Scheffler looks like he's out of it, guess what? That's when you bet him, because he is never out of a tournament on Sunday. So we've got more gold medals coming up here today. Track and field games all throughout the day here. Team USA looking to continue to rack up some wins. We also just watched earlier Suni Lee get another medal, adds to a career medal, just absolute haul. She picked up her third one of this games a couple of hours ago. She now has 6 medals as she took the bronze in the women's individual final on the uneven bars in these games. Just amazing. The only American in the uneven bars finals after qualifying third. She was last in the 8-person field, and then, of course, she went last and was good enough for a gold, for a bronze, rather. So kudos to Suni Lee as the American women's gymnastic team continues to dominate, and we are all for it here. So much more still to come here in the Olympics. We'll keep you posted on the women's basketball. We got to get ready for plenty of Major League Baseball, though, coming up, including another one of these rubber matches here with San Francisco and the Reds. The Reds bounced back with Hunter Green yesterday. We told you we loved the opportunity for Hunter Green to get even, and they did, although barely. 6-4 they won. What are we going to get? Robbie Ray on the mound for the Giants here today. Will he have enough to get it done? We'll talk a lot of baseball coming up here. Game time decisions on the grid.
What has happened? What has transpired here at the First Bank Center here in Denver, Colorado? It wasn't just a big night of fight. It was a big night of memorable moments.
Conor McGregor with us here in Denver, Colorado. Look left hand from Rockwell. Right hand right back from Mike Perry. Can I get a face-off with Conor McGregor, man? It's an incredible setup here. Incredible matchmaking. Incredible storytelling. Oh, you had to come here. All these fighters that step in here are warriors. And all have my respect. And I'm into this game. Yeah, we'll be into this. Yeah.
And we are live here in the Maverick Center here in Salt Lake City. What a night. It is going to be historic indeed for BKFC 56.
Whoever's the king of violence right here, this is going to be a great fight. Perry on the top. Right hand from Mike Perry. Double jab. Who's the king of violence? I am!
Combat fighting in its purest form, bare knuckle fighting in the city of angels.
We've got the biggest announcement in the BKFC history we're about to make, so let's make that announcement.
What's up, Knucklemania? The notorious Conor McGregor here. Ladies and gentlemen, the huge announcement that I have for you today. Conor McGregor, myself, and McGregor Sports and Entertainment is now an owner of Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. Welcome to the big leagues. David Feldman, baby, we did it.
He's now an owner of BKFC with us, and we're going to take this motherfucking thing all the